Okay, so one of the big reveals will be the bar top under that 3030 window near the kitchen. And what I have here is a very thin piece of maple veneer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an inlay for that top, that bar top, using this material. I've never done anything like this before. I've just kind of come up with a plan, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. It's going to be the Coty, our little dog, his image, the Coty logo, the Coty Tiny House logo. And so what I've done is I projected it onto this piece of material here with a projector, obviously off the computer, this image that I created a few years back for Coty. And I'm going to trace this out onto this veneer, and then I'm going to cut it out, put it on the top, and I'll talk more about what I'm going to do next. Okay, so now I've got the image onto the piece of veneer. It's on my drafting table. And as I told you, I want to clean up these lines so that I freehanded it, and I want them to be as precise as possible. And in order to do that, I need to make as straight a line as I can. So we're going old school. We're going to take these French curves, and we're going to try and match where these lines are to get us some straight lines. And I'll trace, you can see kind of right there. That's a good one right there. That I'm going to go through. I'm going to clean up all these lines and get all these squiggly, lines really sharp, so that when I go and cut this thing, I've got the best chance of a real tight image. And that's what we're looking for. So no computer-aided design here. This is old school, man, right here. All right, stay tuned. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm taking this X-Acto knife, hobby knife, whatever, modeling knife, and I'm cutting out these pieces. And this is kind of tedious work, but I hope it pays off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stain this wood dark. We see kind of the negative image here because of my cutting surface under here. And then I'm going to go back in with this, what I cut out, and I'll leave it the color, natural color that it is, and that'll, be that contrast that I'm looking for. So I've really bit off a lot here on this project, but all for the cause, right? So this is kind of cool. We'll see how. So here it is, all cut out. You see the cutting board underneath. But here it is, and here's all the pieces that will be put back in place. There's 14 altogether. But this is pretty cool. I'm going to mount it to a temporary board because this thing wants to curl up. I mean, it just wants to curl so much. But that'll probably be beneficial when I try and use contact cement when I actually mount it for real. So we're going to stain it next and go from there. I've stained the veneer this ebony color to match the cabinets. And I've also put a coat of polyurethane on it. And this is all before, installing it. And the reason being is that these inlay pieces are natural, and I didn't want to put them back on until I had some protective finish so that I didn't drag the stain through, or actually the polyurethane that might wake up the stain and, bring it onto the inlay. So I've got this protective coat of polyurethane. Obviously it's not finished, but that allows me to get this mounted, get my inlays installed, then I can sand it all uniformly and then continue my coats of polyurethane. I want this sharp contrast to happen for the image. I've mounted the inlay material onto the plywood, the countertop, and this turned out pretty well. I'm happy with it. I avoided any catastrophes. But you can see where there's still the residue of the contact cement right in here. I've already started to clean it up, but if you look right here, you can see there's these little areas where there's glue. So I'm going to take the X-Acto knife and I'm going to come in and I'm going to clean all this out really well, these areas right here, so that the pieces that, that I cut out go back in tight. And so what I'll do is get those glued in. I put a coat of polyurethane on them so that they're protected. Get them glued in, and then I can start really finishing the entire surface. So here it is. I'm just about finished with it. And boy, a lot has happened since last time I did some video, and I'll explain that to you. But you can see I've got it here mounted. I'm not completely finished with it. I have some touch up. I've got more coats of polyurethane to do. But I just wanted to show you in some, filling of the nail holes. But I just wanted to show you the image and how this turned out. It's still pretty cool. It's different than how I had expected it to come out. But like I said, still pretty nice. Now this is the window we were talking about, that we wanted to have this bar height. You see I've got these cool little LED USB port lights that'll work really well. But watch this. You just take this and this simply folds up. So there's the bar. Anyway, so what happened was that I started to try and sand this all smooth, and without getting into a lot of detail, I ended up doing exactly what I was fearing, and that was kind of drag the stain through the lighter color when I was trying to work it. But it actually had kind of a happy mistake result, if you will. That's some glare coming through the door there, but maybe I'll cover it with there we go. But anyway, I think it's cool. It's really, really pretty, and there's Coty, man, from the Coty tiny house. View out the window. That's a good place to sit. So here's the bracket that's underneath. It's stainless steel. It's really cool. Put a little block there, and this is the, you push this button and the thing folds down. And I blocked it out here for clearance, and then this 1x2 edge, it goes around, kind of conceals it, so it comes down and hides the panel box right here when it's down. And when it's down, it's more like a piece of art against the wall. So just want to show you that. And we'll fill all these nail holes and get this thing finished up nice. It actually came out, again, I think it's kind of cool. It almost looks like a burnt, finish, torched finish, So, like I say, all in all, I think it's nice. It's not exactly what I thought it was going to be, but it's real smooth and flush, and it is true inlay, so kind of cool. It'll be fun, and obviously, Coty will be there, so cool. And you can see we've got these are folding bar stools from IKEA, very lightweight, and they'll fold, so that becomes very handy, and that, fits two people just fine. We got the TV there and all the things we need, the outlets for our phones and computers and pads and all the rest, so